What's up, everybody? Nick Brengle here, and today we're talking about minimalism in 2021. You already know minimalism is not a new thing. I have been preaching about it for the past few years. If you've been around my channel, you know I've talked about digital minimalism, how to simplify your life and declutter things. I've preached about Matt Diavella's channel, and just anything about minimalism I have talked about, and just simplifying our lives and just being clear and concise with what we're spending our time on, and also our resources and what we're using daily. And so as a filmmaker, as a YouTuber, that is very important to me, that I have what I need to complete the job, to do this YouTube channel and to produce content for clients and short films and things like that. So today I wanted to kind of do a refresh, sort of a reboot. It's 2021. And so I want to talk about digital minimalism, camera gear, workspace, and just go through how I approach things, and maybe that rubs off a little on you. So when it comes to digital minimalism, that encompasses our digital life in the cloud, on the computer, our phone, anywhere that's not physically tangible for us to hold on to. And so I approach minimalism digitally by cutting out a lot of the extra junk. So on my phone, just like most of you, I have a ton of apps, of course, but most of those things, 95% of those apps, I hide in one folder and I put it back in my phone somewhere. And that includes Instagram, that includes Twitter, that includes everything except for Google Chrome, YouTube, my minimalist app, email, things like that that I need right there. That's most important to me. Other than that, I have to take that extra step to go find Instagram or Twitter, and that just sort of helps keep a little bit of a barrier between, going on Instagram more often, because if you don't see the icon, it's a lot easier for me to not go on it. But Edison is the email app that I've been using for a couple years now. I absolutely love it. It's seamless, it's simple, and I like how it organizes things. So you should check that out. It's completely free. Minimalist is another app that I've used for a while and I've talked about before, and I use that to make quick little ideas, maybe something I need to buy, maybe an idea for a video, something I need to do, but just quick couple lines, something simple. If there's a more detailed idea or something I want to write, then I'm not near a pen and my journal or my notebook, then I go into the notes app like a lot of us, and I write stuff in there. Maybe I'm in bed, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and an idea pops in my head. I just grab my phone, quickly jot down stuff that maybe doesn't even make sense the next day, but that's how I approach that. But on my computer, it's a much more difficult process because, video files take up a lot of space, and now I'm back in the Blackmagic world, and I am trying to utilize my camera as much as possible. So I'm shooting as much as I can in BRAW, and that is taking up massive amounts of space. And so I have dedicated drives that are for different purposes. I have an 8 terabyte that I strictly use for housing the most important things that I want to keep and that I want access to on a regular basis. So music, old photos, home videos, assets for, Final Cut that I use, whether it's titles or any kind of LUTs or any plugins, anything like that lives on that drive. And then I have a handful of other small drives, 1 terabyte, 4 terabyte, that I use dedicated to projects. And for instance, this video will live on one hard drive. Everything that goes into this video will live on one hard drive. And when I finish this video and you are watching it now, you can know that I've deleted it and washed it away. Now, maybe there's a clip or two that I want to keep for something in the future, and that's great. I put that on a drive that I have in my closet, and I don't think about it. So that's just the way I approach it. And a lot of people, you can use Dropbox, you can use Google Drive. There's a bunch of cloud services out there that I recommend. That they can be expensive, but you just weigh your options as far as purchasing hard drives or purchasing space in the cloud. So I believe that your workspace should be a reflection of who you are as an artist. And for me, that is simple, minimalistic, clean, and just no clutter and junk around that doesn't need to be out. So behind me, you see that's my desk, and this is where I shoot my videos. It's in my bedroom, and I like to keep it clean. Obviously, my wife appreciates that as well, but I try to keep it as simple as possible because it keeps my mind focused on what I'm doing. I don't get distracted. Similar to the phone, if you don't see Instagram or you don't see Facebook there, you're not going to go to it. But if you're sitting at your desk, you have stuff everywhere, your mind is going to race. Just keep it simple. Computer, keyboard, your journal, whatever, your notebook, whatever you need to do what you're doing, and that's it. Everything else, find a place for it, or maybe it's just stuff sitting around that you don't even need. Get rid of it. But I like to have up some art, maybe a plant, things around you that enrich what you're doing and give you life. Always a cup of coffee is always nice to have around. Gear for me is a tool. It's just the things that I need to make the work that I love to do. YouTube, films, client work, all of that encompasses my creativity. All of that comes back to what I love to do. And so I don't want to muddy up that process. And so I keep things as simple as possible. I have one camera. I have two lenses. I have one nice light. I have 3 different types of microphones for different situations: indoor, outdoor, lapel, things like that. I have one recorder. It's like 10 years old or something. I don't even know. It's the Tascam DR60D. And I have one rig set up currently on my Blackmagic Pocket that it's taken me a few months to sort of get it exactly how I want it to be. And I think eventually maybe I'll purchase an easy rig system. But as far as gimbal, Steadicam, things like that, if I need it, I'll rent it. If I'm on a shoot that requires a second camera, either I'll bring somebody on or I will just rent that camera. If I need a certain kind of lens, I will rent that lens for that shoot, and I will put that into the budget of whatever that production is. Because at home and what I'm doing, I would say most of what I'm doing is that 60-40. I'm making YouTube videos, I'm creating passion projects, I'm shooting things that I want to do. And then the other part is client work. And I have to just sort of focus on my stuff more than the client work. So for me, it's keeping things simple. So in my gear closet back here, I go through it every 3 to 6 months. I get rid of things, I sell things, and I just move on. And when I need something in the future or something breaks, then of course I make a purchase or I get what I need for that shoot. But it keeps me simple, it keeps me happy, and I don't have to worry about maintaining so many different pieces of gear. So my hope for this discussion and my opinion on how you should carry out your life as far as being a minimalist, you're not crazy if you want to keep a bunch of gear, and you're not crazy if you want to be simple, but it all comes back to the main focus, and that is telling the story and being as creative as possible. And those things it doesn't matter what lights you have and what camera you have and what microphone you have. I have been around long enough to know that those things are not as important as who you are as a person and how you carry out your daily routine as an artist, as a filmmaker, as somebody here on YouTube, and wherever you're at in your life. Being a human being is way more important than being a filmmaker for me, but the way that I express myself is through filmmaking, is through being a minimalist and sharing that, I've been through the ups and downs in my short life as it is now, but I am getting to a place where I am happy that, I only own one camera, and that I only, really want to focus on what truly inspires me and brings my passion to the forefront of everything that I'm doing. So that's just like a really interesting, I'm just talking, so whatever. But I really appreciate you watching this video. And if you haven't, watched any of my other videos, go check some of them out. And if you're not subscribed, maybe you'll do that. Maybe you won't. That's okay. But yeah, drop a comment down below, ask a question, maybe something that I didn't cover that you'd want to talk about or hear from me about, I guess, just talking, whatever information I have. But yeah, be safe. And until the next video, go create something. And yeah.